Really quickly before we get into the video, huge thanks to Chandler Draws Things for making the thumbnail for this video. Link to his Instagram page will be in the description and the pinned comment. At the time of posting this, it's not on the video yet due to some circumstances, but it will be in a few days probably. Also, I'm terribly sorry for making you wait so long between parts. I swear the wait between parts 4 and 5 won't be anywhere near as long as the wait between parts 3 and 4 was. But without any further ado, let's get into the 4th installment of the What If Boros Turned Good series. Are you an idiot? Saitama shouts as he delivers a punch to Boros' stomach. The alien's eye widens and he's sent flying for several hundred meters before crashing into the ground and rolling for 50 more meters before finally coming to a halt. The dominator of the universe clutches his stomach with one arm and coughs up comedic quantities of blood. Saitama begins walking toward him. You went ahead and fought a bunch of bad guys under my apartment, and then you destroyed the whole city. Where are we going to live now? And what about all the money and the discount coupons I had stored up? I can't pay to build myself a new house. Saitama exclaims, horrified. Genos looks at Boros stunned as well. You mean you actually flipped over a continent? Did you even consider what kind of devastation your actions would cause? The alien stumbles back to his feet, having mostly regenerated the internal damage Saitama's punch had dealt to his body. I did, and that's why I specifically held back from pushing it too far away from Earth. I lifted it only a couple thousand kilometers into space, so that when I kicked it back down, the continent wouldn't have time to build up momentum. If it did, things would have gone much worse. And how exactly is that meant to make up for blowing up my home? Yes, Master Saitama needs a place to stay. I implore you to get him one right away. What do you want me to do? I'm not a builder and I certainly can't get you any money. Surely your own S-Class hero's salary should be enough to buy a house somewhere. Being an S-Class hero pays well, but not that well. I'd need to save up money for a couple months for that, which is way too long. You're the one who got us into this mess, so you should get us out of it. And how do you suppose I do that? If you've got any ideas, I'm all ears. Why don't you try to become a hero or something? I'm a giant blue one-eyed alien. Yeah, the Hero Association, meant to kill monsters, will surely accept me into their ranks. Wait, that's actually a brilliant idea. Genos suddenly exclaims and Boros rolls his eye. I was being sarcastic. And I wasn't. I have an idea. We'll get you into the Hero Association. With your power, I'm sure you could become S-Class. With both of our salaries, we could get a new apartment built in no time. Again, how are you planning on getting the heroes to not want to kill me on sight? Or maybe you want me to just walk up to them, beat them all up and demand that they accept me into the association as a hero? I'd be taking on all the heroes at the same time. To be honest, that could be fun. No! Saitama exclaims as he slaps Boros hard enough to send the alien crashing into the ground. Follow me, you two. I need to introduce you to someone. Boros and Saitama, having no idea what to expect, proceed to follow Genos to another city. One that hasn't been completely leveled yet. The unlikely trio arrives at a large building, which, as Boros notes, seems to look like a fortified lab of sorts. The group stops in front of a big door. Well, Boros guesses that it's a door. In actuality, it looks more like a vault. And his guess is proven correct when Genos gives someone a short call and the door to the building opens. The cyborg walks through the entrance and his companions follow him inside. Boros looks around curiously as the trio walks through a wide corridor. So, mind telling us what this place is? To put it simply, it's a laboratory where the genius scientist who made my body does his work. A place of technology, huh? In truth, I was interested in learning more about Earth's advancements in this department ever since I saw you for the first time. I guess this is as good a time as any. You've come to the right place then. Here, you'll find some of the most advanced technology on Earth. The trio approaches a door at the end of the hallway. Genos opens it, and everyone walks into a very large room filled with all kinds of machinery and robotics. Welcome, everyone. Genos informed me that he'd be coming over, but he didn't mention any guests. Dr. Kuseno greets the group. Good day, Dr. Kuseno. My apologies for failing to tell you that I wouldn't be coming here alone today. This is my master, Saitama, and an acquaintance of ours, Boros. Boros, master, this is Dr. Kuseno. Genos introduces everyone. Oh yes, Genos has told me plenty about both of you. Kuseno takes a few steps closer to Saitama. So, you're Genos' mentor, correct? I've been waiting to meet you. He shakes the Baldy's hand before looking over at Boros. And you must be the alien Genos told me so much about. I've been quite eager to get a chance to talk to you as well ever since your sparring match with Genos. Such fascinating opportunities to learn more about space don't come up often after all. He extends a hand to Boros as well. The alien looks at the scientist a little awkwardly before putting on a small smirk. The feeling is mutual. I'm quite keen to learn more of this planet's technology. Perhaps I'll even ask for a favor or two. There have been a few ideas floating around in my mind ever since first meeting Genos. Though, I'll have to decline the handshake. It's very hard for me to control my strength without my power-restricting armor on. I wouldn't want to accidentally crush your arm. Saitama leans closer to Genos and whispers into his ear. If only he'd been so considerate before deciding to drop a mountain on City Z. Genos nods in agreement. Oh, I see. Well, I'm looking forward to exchanging information with you, Boros. The doctor answers. With the introductions out of the way, Genos tells Boros to thoroughly explain his battle and the group's current situation to Kuseno. Meanwhile, in another dimension, a tall, muscular man wearing a cape and shades takes a seat on a luxurious couch and looks at a recent report he got from the Hero Association. The emblem on his chest reads Blast. I couldn't believe it at first. A continent flying into space is not something you see often. To think that monsters such as this could exist on Earth. I thought I'd have to step in for sure. The idea of such powerful hostiles suddenly appearing on this planet is worrying to say the least. Though I am glad to know there's still another hero out there who can take on threats of this level. I can rest a bit easier knowing that King is looking after Earth. The man lets out a sigh of relief. Guess I'll get back to work now. I'll trust the S-Class to take care of Earth for now, though I should keep an eye out, just in case. At the same time, Platinum S limps his way to a certain location. He walks slowly, as his body is heavily damaged. The cracks on his platinum skin are deep. One wrong move, and he could fall apart. Almost there. Just a few more kilometers, and I will reach them. I will heal. Get stronger. Kill Boros. The monster murmurs to himself. The only things holding his body together are an immense will to live and an unrelenting hatred for the alien. Back in the lab, Kuseno nods as Boros finishes his explanation. The alien mentions everything with one exception. He doesn't tell the group about God. He figures that he'll take care of that problem himself. And in truth, deep down, Boros wants God all for himself. If Saitama took care of the entity first, the alien would miss out on possibly the most exhilarating battle of his life. And he doesn't want that to happen now, does he? So, you want me to get you into the Hero Association? And how do you suppose I do that?
That's the exact thing I was wondering myself.
Boros glances at Genos, clearly waiting for the cyborg to explain this idea of his. And it doesn't take long for the man to begin talking.
I was thinking of asking you if it would be possible to develop some sort of appearance-altering technology to make Boros look like a human. Something that could let him pass as a hero, perhaps.
Everyone's eyes widen. You really think that would be possible, Genos?
It's an interesting idea for sure. Would you actually be able to make something like that, Doctor?
I could try. But creating a device that would alter your entire body and make it look human would be very difficult. The old man rubs his chin in thought. Boros then comes up with an idea of his own.
Would it be easier if you only had to modify my face?
Certainly. I take it you have something else in mind for what to do with the rest of your body?
I do. And it's something I've been thinking about ever since my first day on this planet. You see, I used to wear power-restricting armor before it was broken in my battle against Saitama. Without it, I've been having quite a hard time adjusting my strength for daily activities. I've certainly gotten better at suppressing myself, but it's still a hassle. If you could make me a set of power-limiting armor, it would make controlling my output a lot easier. And it would mask the rest of my body.
I see. This way I would only have to mask your face and the armor would cover the rest of your body, as well as serve other purposes, like making you look like a real hero.
Wait a minute. The hero exam requires the participants to dress down to their underwear. Armor would go against the rules. Boros could be exposed. What kind of stupid requirement is that?
Just tell them you're a cyborg and the armor is a part of your body, and that it can't be taken off. I'll make sure to make the suit X-ray proof, so that they won't be able to tell you're lying.
Alright, this is getting interesting. Let's get to it then.
Boros, please lay down on that table over there. The man points at a nearby surgeon's table. I'll begin by examining your body proportions. Afterwards, I'll need to look at your energy levels and determine how much to limit them. I'll also have to find a material durable enough to withstand as much damage as possible for what wavelengths and neurogenesis would be the most have to figure out how to actually suppress your neurons and what wavelengths and neurogenesis or if it should only be an animal which path would be the most optical and practical for you. Saitama turns around and begins walking out of the room.
Where are you going, Master?
You and the old man can take care of the science stuff. I'm going for a walk.
I'll come with you, Master.
What happens next is the first episode of Season 2, with Saitama meeting King and Genos battling the robot G4. The only big changes are that Saitama is always in his hero suit, since his regular clothes are in his apartment, which is buried deep underground and completely wrecked, and that King never goes to Saitama's apartment for the same reason. Genos finishes his battle with G4 way faster this time due to being a lot stronger, since he has fought Boros before and got a lot of extra data from the battle, which allowed him to be upgraded a lot easier and better than in the original. The cyborg takes a part of G4 back to Kuseno's laboratory. He sees that the doctor is working hard on creating the things Boros asked of him and decides to just lay back for now. His own upgrades can come after the alien's tech is completed. At the same time, the Hero Association attempts to deal with the consequences of the planetary devastation impact. One of their top heroes, Tatsumaki, has been hospitalized for the foreseeable future thanks to her battle against 4 Dragon Level Plus monsters. Several cities that were neighboring City Z have suffered severe damage. Tens of thousands of people were left homeless, and many more were injured due to shattering glass, debris, and shockwaves. Incredibly strong volcano eruptions and earthquakes have brought global travel to a halt. The association desperately tries to control the situation by putting every single hero at their disposal to work. In addition to fighting off monsters, Heroes who are B-class and below have to help with repairs to infrastructure and buildings. And every hero who is A-class has to help with the evacuations from damaged areas. Needless to say, the Hero Association is in a tough spot. And so they call upon the criminals of the world to help them out. A meeting happens, just like in the original story. And, just like in the original, Garou makes his big entrance by defeating 3 A-class heroes with ease and decimating all of the criminals before leaving the building. With the Hero Association being on the ropes already, they put out an immediate hit on the man, publicating his face all over the continent and ordering all heroes to bring him down on sight. This only serves to motivate Garou more. And he actually doesn't run into Saitama like he originally did, as Saitama was shopping for a wig at the time, and here he has no money, so he wouldn't be out shopping. Days pass. Garou faces and defeats Tanked Up Master, as well as several A and B class heroes, just like in the original story. Metal Bat is still assigned to guard one of the Hero Association's biggest funders and his son as they go hang out in a sushi restaurant. Since the Monster Association has already been dismantled by Boros here, no monsters show up, and the lunch isn't interrupted. Another change is that Garou doesn't fight Metal Bat. Originally, Garou found Metal Bat because of an announcement of a demon-level threat appearing and Metal Bat being on the scene. With no monster, there is no announcement, and so Garou doesn't track the hero down. However, he still goes on to fight Watchdog Man and gets beaten up. Saitama also never learns about the Super Fight Tournament. With all his current problems, the Baldy doesn't have the time or motivation to seek out this hero hunter guy. Sure, he overhears Genos and Kuseno discussing him sometime probably, or King could mention Garou to him, and the Baldy is a little interested, but he's got bigger problems to worry about at the moment. This results in Saitama never participating in the Super Fight Tournament. And so, Garou doesn't run into him and King. Without sustaining damage from Saitama's kick, Garou is still in relatively good shape. In the original series, when he woke up from being kicked, Garou saw the A-class hero Death Gatling, but chose not to fight him because he was in bad shape. But here, he never even passes out, so he's already left the area by the time Gatling arrives. This means that Garou isn't anywhere near as injured as he was in the original, and he continues hunting heroes and growing stronger along the way. Since there is no Monster Association here, the Super Fight Tournament isn't interrupted by Goketsu, and Suiryu goes on to win with ease. One more change is that Haragiri, the Council of Swordsmen member who got killed by Atomic Samurai, never reveals himself as a monster here because, once again, the Monster Association is gone. So he's a monster in hiding pretty much. In the original, Atomic Samurai was going to go after Garou before Haragiri's betrayal caused him to switch targets. But here, the samurai has no such distraction, so he, his disciples, and the Council of Swordsmen all split up into groups to go after Garou specifically. And of course, Bang and Bomb also scour the streets searching for the rogue martial artist. All this time, Boros stays with Kuseno, since the old man needs him around to perform checks and tests on the armor and face mask that he is creating. On the rare occasions when Kuseno doesn't need his assistance, Boros spars with Saitama. And when he does, he often finds himself on the wrong end of a beatdown as the Baldy takes out some of his frustrations on the alien. However, Boros can feel his power gradually growing with every sparring match. Eventually, he asks how Saitama managed to get this strong, and Caped Baldy gives him the answer. The alien doesn't know what a push-up, sit-up, or squat is, so he asks Saitama to demonstrate and then tries out this workout routine. He effortlessly completes the workout and looks at his sparring partner unsatisfied.
Really? That's all you did? It's ridiculously easy.
Eventually, Kuseno finishes the technology and has Boros properly put it on before inviting Genos and Saitama to check out his work. The master and disciple make their way to the lab, unsure what to expect. They enter the room and are greeted with an impressive sight. Genos' eyes widen.
Boros? Is that really you? The resemblance is strong, but you could definitely pass as a hero now.
Yes, I believe I could. And this armor is perfect. It's much easier to suppress myself with it on.
So, is the face just temporary, or did you get some surgery and change it forever? Because it's kinda creeping me out. It's a face mask of sorts. It's made of a thin layer of a special shape-shifting metal. He can take it on and off at will, so the change isn't permanent.
Alright. Now all that's left is getting you into the Hero Association.
Should be easy enough. Even with this armor, I'm still more than strong enough to be considered a threat-level dragon. And if I'm not mistaken, I only need to be demon level to get into S-Class, right?
You certainly have the power aspect covered, but that's only half the marks on the hero exam.
And what is the other half?
The written exam. Now sit down and listen. You have to get into the S-Class, so I'll be teaching you all you need to know to pass. Listen closely.
I agreed to become a hero to make up for the continent flip. I didn't sign up for a studying session.
Saitama walks up to Boros and looks at him menacingly without saying a word. A sweat drop appears on Boros' forehead.
When do I start studying, Genos?
Meanwhile, in the Hero Association headquarters, a meeting is being held between the highest-ranking board members. The repairs have been coming along relatively well, but the hero hunter still hasn't been caught. We also haven't been able to contact several B and C class heroes. We've tried calling them, visiting their apartments, contacting their families, and so far we've got nothing on them. It's as if those heroes just disappeared off the face of the planet without a trace.
Think Garou got to them?
That was my first thought as well, but after thinking it over, I seriously doubt that this is his doing. Garou claims to be a monster, but he's never once killed a hero as far as we know. He just beats on them and leaves. Kidnapping or killing isn't his style. Every hero attacked by him so far has been found within a day of the assault happening. But these heroes have been missing for days now.
So you think someone else is responsible?
Someone or something. Right now, we don't have enough information to make any conclusions. I suggest we continue to monitor the situation closely.
Indeed, this is quite worrying. If the heroes continue disappearing like this, we're going to have to take drastic measures.